Hello everyone, I invite you to every Wednesday cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on the BTC to USDT pair, taking into account the 4-hour time frame. First, we will use blue lines to mark a strong downward trend channel from which the price moved sideways, from which we can determine a local upward trend. Looking at the current price consolidation, it is worth deploying the trend-based fib extension tool, thanks to which we can determine the resistance to which the price is approaching at the level of $43,942. When it comes out on top and tests it positively, it may go towards the next strong resistance at the price, $45,193. However, the price still has to face a very strong resistance zone from $46,094 to $47,220. Looking the other way, in a similar way, you can determine support when the price changes its direction. And here, first of all, it is worth defining a strong support zone from $42,501 to $41,721. And then we can see support around $40,481, which is the first support after returning to the sapping trend channel. The RSI indicator shows that we have broken out of the downtrend line, with room for the price to go further. And when we look at the stock indicator, we will see that it also has room for further growth, and just like the RSI indicator, it came out on top from the sapping trend line. As the second chart in today's overview, we will check XRP in pair with USDT on a one-day time frame. It is worth starting here by identifying a very strong upward trend line on which the price is currently based. Additionally, we can locally determine the downward trend line, which, combined with the uptrend line, creates a triangle in which the price is approaching the exit direction. Going further, we can move on to marking support areas when the correction begins to deepen. And here you can see how we entered a very strong support zone from 53 cents to 42 cents. If the price drops below this zone, we may see the price return to the recent lows of 29 cents. Looking the other way, we will unfold the fib retracement screen again, thanks to which we can see a very strong resistance at the level of 94 cents. However, here we will spread the grid, also taking into account the last downward move, which shows how the price must first overcome the resistance at 62 cents, and then the second resistance around 74 cents, before moving towards the third resistance. It is worth looking at EMA cross 50 and 200, because it indicates a dangerous situation. You can see how the yellow EMA cross 50 line is falling and is on the verge of crossing the blue EMA cross 200 line, which would confirm a return to a strong downward trend. Looking at the RSI indicator, we can see a strong downward trend and a renewed fight against the trend line, under which there is still room for a price drop. However, on the stock indicator, we are moving at the lower limit, which, despite a possible decline, may result in a change in the trend in the coming weeks. Third, we will check the SOL chart in the USDT pair on a 4-hour time frame. Let's start by defining, using the blue lines, the downtrend channel from which we can see the exit at the top. However, here, locally, the yellow color can be used to indicate a downward triangle in which we are approaching a potential direction of movement. Here it is worth looking at EMA cross 10 and 30, as they indicate the entry into a local downtrend, which could potentially result in a larger decline. In such a situation, it is worth checking potential support areas. And here we can see how the price is struggling to maintain the level of $96. However, if the level is broken and we exit the triangle at the bottom, the next support is around $89. And further support is visible at the level of $79. Looking the other way, you can see a narrow range between support and the first resistance, which is at the price of $97. Moving above the resistance and the descending triangle may result in an increase to around $108. And then you can see resistance at the level of $116. When we switch to the RSI indicator, we can define a falling triangle from which the exit at the top resulted in a quick return to a specific triangle. While on the stock indicator, we can define a downward trend line that the indicator must break to return to the upward trend. The last one in today's list is the Atom to USDT chart, taking into account the 4-hour time frame. First, we will mark the upward trend channel with the blue lines, where we could see the price breaking down, and the decline itself was close to the height of the previously defined channel. Currently, using the yellow lines, it is worth defining a triangle from which the price starts to exit with an upward movement. Moving forward, we can move on to marking support areas in the event that the price turns again. And here the first support is at the price of $9.11, which effectively kept the price from further declines. However, if we see a break from the current support again, it may result in a drop to around $8.18. Looking the other way, we see that the first important resistance is at the level of $10.18. And if the price positively crosses it, it may move towards the second resistance at the level of $11.11. Please look at the RSI indicator, as there is still room for price increases. While if we look at the stock indicator, it should raise caution as we are moving at the upper end of the range, which may influence the willingness to react. Technical analysis is provided by a third party, and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.